Is the 2014 Grand Cherokee Overland Edition with the 5.7 Hemi. We have 22 by 10.5 marquee 3226 wheels with the black and the red. They are wrapped in. Those are 305 3522s all the way around. So you get an idea how that looks and how that sits. Fills out the fender gap very well. Both front and rear. She does have Corsa catback exhaust. You can see that kind of sticks out a little further than the standard pipe tip, I should say. Much wider. Up front, I went with the Legmaker carbon fiber intake. And just a couple things I did here. I took the engine cover off. It actually runs about 10 degrees cooler that way. And the other thing is, see this piece up here? The rubber molding. I actually removed that. So when you close the hood, you get more air through this gap here right into the intake. I did notice a significant difference when I did that. And just recently, we did go with the Diablosport Tuner. That was the i3 or Intune 3, and we are running the Diablosport Tune, which is the 93 octane. And one thing I wanted to show you guys, this is something I've been working on for quite some time. See the height of the vehicle, see how low it is? Quite a bit more in the front than the rear, but still both are lowered. And I did this for absolutely free, and it's the easiest thing in the entire world. And I was basically just being a test mule for it, and I'll show you, should have left the hood open, how I did that. And all it is dropping the vehicle into park mode, or park height adjustment I should say. And you come in here, pop this, and you got this fuse right there and that fuse right there, which I do have inside the Jeep. I removed both of those. Those are both of the fuses for the compressor. And what that'll do is it will disable the compressor, and now the vehicle rides in park mode at all times, at all speeds, instead of making the automatic adjustment back up to the aero mode once it hits about 15 miles per hour. Now, I know you guys are all gonna completely destroy me on this and tell me that that's not what the system is designed for, and you're gonna run into issues and blah, blah, blah. I understand that, I knew that going into it, but I wanted to be a test mule and basically just see what happens. So I did that at about 68,000 miles. I currently have 93,000 miles on it. So I've gone about 25,000 miles with this setup, and I have not run into a single issue yet. I'm still monitoring it to see if something does happen, but as of right now, no problems whatsoever. The ride is a little bit more stiff, as you can expect. I've owned a couple of sports cars lowered down on iBox springs, and this ride is still better quality than those by a long shot. Now what you will notice, or what I have noticed over time, is that it will very, very slowly sag and drop down to a little bit lower than where you're going to want to be. And what I do, and this is probably about every 5,000 miles or so, I go back and throw those fuses in, run a full cycle all the way up and down on the suspension, put it back in park, pull the fuses. Put it back in park and pull the fuses again. And once I do that, it's good to go for another 5,000 miles. And like you said, where I'm at right now in the front, it's getting a little bit low, so it's about time for me to run another cycle on it. It's usually about a ½ inch higher than this, where it normally rides at once you run the cycle and it resets. But so far, guys, I'm loving it. It looks great, very aggressive. I do get asked all the time, how'd you lower it? You know, what are you using for springs? Blah blah blah. So looks great. The ride is still pretty good quality. I'm very happy with it. I'm not saying necessarily everyone should do this because I don't know what will happen if someone else tries it. You blow out a spring or whatever. I'm not really sure, but as of right now, I'm really liking it. So I'm sorry, a shock, not a spring. But anyways, I'm gonna go for a ride now, and we're gonna show you what the exhaust sounds like, cruising speeds, a little bit of acceleration, and we'll go from there. Probably getting a lot of wind noise right now. I'm going to go ahead and roll the windows up and try that again. Maybe hear it a little better now. Go ahead and turn around, go the other way. So where it's at now with the, hold on. Hopefully you can hear it a little better like that. So where we're at now, right out of the box is about 360 horse. We got the cold air intake, the Corsa exhaust, the tuner with the 93 tune. Just a couple of little breather mods there. We're probably somewhere ballpark 400 horsepower right now. I can definitely tell a significant difference over stock. But my favorite thing is by far the Corsa exhaust. Not necessarily just for the increase in power, but the noise. It is just, it's incredible. I can't even describe it. I'm so happy I spent a couple extra bucks to get it. So yeah, if anybody's looking at exhaust out there, you will not be disappointed with the Corsa. The intake, I didn't really notice much when I installed it, to be honest with you. It looks great. It's the carbon fiber piping, but yeah, not as far as increase in power, not really. Nothing, at least not until I opened up that molding on the front of the hood there. So got a couple aesthetic things coming here soon. I'll come back with you guys and show you what I got. We'll go from there.